Aloha kākou, aloha kakahiaka. Hello everyone and good morning. If you are able, please rise at this time. The season is upon us. Please join us in our gathering music, the first Noel. Yes, the season is upon us and we can feel it in the air, and it feels good. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Honolulu. Whether in person or online, we are a beloved community, boldly growing compassion, justice, and joy. Please join us after the service for refreshment and fellowship down the gallery so that we can extend our aloha and get to know and talk story with you. We extend aloha to all of you for choosing this morning our congregation to worship with. Mahalo. And as Keola light the chalice, I will read and recite the chalice lighting words. We light this flame for this community, for the way we show up for each other, hold space for each other, and see each other. May this light remind us that we don't walk through this season alone.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. It's so good to see all of you. It's so good to see a full room. Please feel free to come up, fill in the chairs if you're on the side, or stay there. It's up to you. I see a lot of visitors this morning, so if this is your first or second time here at the Unitarian Church of Honolulu, would you just raise your hand so we can see who you are? Very nice. So welcome, welcome. So among this group is a group of Keola people, my family, my friends, my coworkers. So if you are in one of those groups, one of the Keola people, family, friends, coworkers, would you raise your hand so everyone can see you? Oh, I'm so happy you're here. It is Advent season under the Christian liturgical calendar, and so we'll be lighting some Advent candles today. I'll be doing a reading for Advent, and today's sermon is themed around Advent. But before I get there, because there are so many visitors, some of you may be new to Unitarian Universalism. You may be wondering, what is Unitarian Universalism? And I'm in seminary, been studying it for 2.5 years, and I still have that question. But let me give you the 30-second version. We have no dogma here, so there are people of all different faiths, people of no faith. You don't have to believe anything about God. You don't have to believe in a God to be here. Instead, our faith is centered around shared values, and those values are justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity, and at the center of all that is love. So did I get that in 30 seconds? All right. Okay, now let us light the Advent candles. By placing candles upon a circle of evergreens is an age-old tradition. Lighting additional candles each day or each week as the light wanes has been part of human rituals for centuries upon centuries. We are warmed by the glow. We are reminded that the wheel of the season will turn and brilliant lengthening days will return. The original Advent wreath in the Christian tradition dates back to the 16th century and included a candle for each of the 24 days leading up to Christmas. For us, here in this time, the circle of evergreen reminds us that life and love will never end. We light candles each week with anticipation as we know a new season will soon be here, days will become longer, and we know that the warmth of the candles will soon be replaced by the warmth of the sun. This week we are honoring peace. The second candle of the Advent wreath represents peace, and it is an appropriate day to acknowledge peace because today, as you know, is December 7th, is the 84th anniversary of the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and it's an important reminder to us to honor peace and to fight for peace worldwide. In this time of expectancy and celebration, let us hold onto the ideal of peace, even though wars rage around the world and sometimes in our hearts. We recognize that peace arrives gently, and to an open heart, we light the candle of peace to remind us that it is with softness of a dove's wing that peace descends upon us. We light the candle of peace. Thank you.
My name is Gabe, and my pronouns are he, him, and they. And I have the honor of being your worship associate this morning, along with Pastor Keola Whittaker, who in his busy schedule will return next year in February to again join us in the pulpit. We are looking forward to your message this morning. Again, we welcome you all. At this time, please join us in our mission song. Sorry. This church is our place to experience the depth of life together. This book of life stands for the lives we share within our beloved community. Some of us, our joys or our concerns are in this book. Others see the book and know that we can share their joys and concerns freely here in the gallery with one another after the service, in workshop with wise leaders from afar, with our minister, Pastor Keola, or with our members of our care team. And now, you can share your joys and concerns and learn of the cares of others in our community, in our newsletter, and on our website. Let's see the concerns this morning recorded in the Book of Life. Someone also mentioned remembering Pearl Harbor. So now you can share your joys and concerns and learn of the cares of others in our community. I mentioned that, the newsletters. As I continue here, please take a moment, eyes closed if you will. What concerns you? How may you share your concerns to lighten your load or deepen your connection? There are no joys recorded in the Book of Life, so please take a moment to recall some joys. How may sharing your joys inspire wider happiness? The bitterness and the sweetness, the concerns and joys of life remind us to live these days together. The brave adventure and the holy understanding we share in this journey echoes today as it always does in the Book of Life and in the hearts we each bring here to share today, and may it always be so.
Now please get comfortable in your seats. Put both feet on the ground for a time of prayer, contemplation, and meditation. Holy One, by whatever name we call you, we ask for open hearts today. Help us listen deeply. Help us be present to what's true. Help us hold space for complexity and meet each other with compassion. We breathe together now and settle into this moment. Let us sit together in silence for a brief moment of contemplation and meditation. Amen. Please come back to this space.
Please rise if you're willing to join us in the hymn of the month, There is More Love Somewhere.
More love.
Thank you. How fortunate we are to look at the suffering of this world and to provide some relief. It is a privilege to be able to give our whole offering today and every Sunday to people and cause who benefit from our loving concern. This month we are supporting Helping Hands. We have Francine coming up to share a little bit about that organization and their causes and their motives.
Good morning. Our Share of the Plate recipient for December is Helping Hands Hawaii. It was officially incorporated in 1974, evolving from the 1941 Honolulu Council of Social Agencies Volunteer Placement Bureau. Their programs create a safety net for Hawaii's most vulnerable residents to overcome poverty, houselessness, food insecurity, household instability, and other challenges. Separately, their programs represent distinct areas of need. Together, they work in concert to help all Hawaii residents realize their fullest potential. So these programs include a bilingual access line. They deliver language services to businesses and agencies through professional interpreters and translators. Another program is the Representative Payee, which helps individuals experiencing long-term illness or other impairment to manage their Social Security benefits. And the SNAP Outreach Program assists individuals with accessing SNAP benefits to ensure nutritional assistance is available to those who need it. The other program that they have is the Community Clearinghouse. And this, I must say, is my personal favorite. The service provides household necessities, empowerment training, financial assistance, and school supplies. So people in need can come into the clearinghouse and take what they need at no cost to them. So you can check out their donation needs and hours at Helping Hands Hawaii online. Helping Hands also offers holiday support, and we hope next year that we can have our own wishing tree in the church where you take someone's name and assist them with holiday needs. We're a little late this year for that. I know we've just finished, by the way, a very successful drive for the residents of Pu'u, Honua, Waianae. Marie and I delivered the food to them on Thursday, and at that time, Keola, one of the residents, mentioned how cold it gets at night and how she would love to have additional blankets. And she's still on the boat harbor side. In the valley, it's even colder at night. So not official, it's not like the food drive that we had last month, but if you have blankets to donate, please leave them on the bench at the porta-chair, and we will deliver them so that the community members there can keep warm at night for the rest of the winter. Residents are in the process of dismantling the boat harbor homes and moving everyone to the valley. And as I said, it's much colder there at night. So mahalo.
Thank you, Francine. When the calabash comes around, please give or use the QR code on the screen or text to the church to share the plate, to fund Helping Hands, or send a check. Let us give freely now and receive with great gratitude.
What's the word? No.
Your gifts help sustain the ministry of this church within these walls and without. Mahalo for your generosity.
Advent, if we let it, teaches us to long for things that will never come again. I'd like to take you back 30 years. It was Christmas 1995. I was a young teenager, and that year cracked my family open in ways I didn't have words for yet. So many things happened. The breaking started that June when my grandmother had a stroke. And we had already been caring for my grandfather who was suffering with Alzheimer's. My grandmother's stroke meant that my mom and I were caring for two people. My grandmother recovering, relearning how to speak and move. My grandfather who forgot things, wandered, and required a feeding tube. My mother held it together through the summer, through the fall, caring for both of her parents, managing the impossible logistics of love when bodies fail. I watched her exhaustion. I watched her try to keep smiling, keep functioning, keep being a daughter and a mother and a person all at once. And then that November, my grandfather passed away, the one I was close to. The one whose presence always made me feel anchored and safe. My grandmother survived her stroke, but she wasn't quite the same. My brother got married that year, which should have only been joyful, but it meant he belonged to another family now. Christmas with the in-laws, not with us. My father died too that year, though I didn't grow up with him, didn't live with him, still, gone is gone, possibilities ended. And then Christmas arrived. Like some cruel deadline we had to meet whether we were ready for it or not. I remember watching my mother that Christmas, a single mother, still exhausted, still holding it together, now caring for her mother alone, carrying the weight of everything that year had taken from her. She was sad, but she was managing. Her smile didn't quite reach her eyes, but she smiled anyway. She had to manage. There's no other choice. I mostly remember it feeling small. The family felt smaller. Small felt incomplete. The magic was gone. I felt love, of course, but it wasn't a chorus of love. It felt quiet. Christmas wasn't the same. My grandparents had this gift, you see. They brought people together, extended family, their friends, grandchildren, neighbors. Anyone who needed a place to be was welcome in their home. They had a way of just opening their home, their table, their lives to everyone. I remember my grandmother's French toast, made in a way only she could make it. I haven't tasted any quite like it since then. The smell of it filling up the kitchen while the house filled with noise and chaos and too much food. And now that was gone. No distant family filling up the house. No friends of my grandparents telling stories. Just gaps where people used to be. Just silence where there used to be laughter. Just a few of us trying to pretend it was still Christmas. I didn't care about the gifts that year. I couldn't tell you what I got. What I wanted couldn't be wrapped. That Christmas, Mariah Carey's song was everywhere. On the radio, on MTV, every store, impossible to escape. All I want for Christmas is you. Over and over. That soaring voice declaring its want. And every time I heard it, the you the single singer longed for took on new meaning for me. You, Grandpa. You, the grandmother, Tutu, who could gather people and make them feel at home. You, my brother, at the table instead of somebody else's. You, the version of our family that existed before everything broke apart. All I want for Christmas is you. But you were gone, all of you, and you weren't coming back. I was numb and confused, just wanting things to be how they were, knowing with a teenager's helpless clarity they would never, ever be that way again. I cried alone in my bedroom because I was a teenage boy, and that's what teenage boys do. We cry where no one can see us. We feel things in private. We don't know how to name what's breaking inside of us. I didn't know the word for it then, but what I was experiencing for the first time was nostalgia. Not the sweet kind that makes you smile when you look at old photographs. The other kind. The kind that hurts. The kind that teaches you for the first time in your young life that you can long for the past, that time moves in one direction, that some things once lost are lost forever. It was the first time that I longed backwards instead of forwards. The first time I wanted to reverse time instead of rushing towards the future. A new feeling for a young person. This ache for what was, this grief for what would never be again. I wonder if you've had a Christmas like that. Have you had that? A Christmas that divided time into before and after? Do you ever long for the Christmas before? Maybe the one before someone died. The ones where the kids were still little before they grew up and moved away and started their own traditions that don't include you. The one before we came out. Maybe the one where we did come out. The one where everyone was still speaking to each other before the fight, before the betrayal, before the unforgivable thing that fractured everything. Every December, the calendar forces us to notice who's missing, what's changed, what's broken, what's been lost. In some ways, we measure our lives by Christmases, don't we? And then, like some cosmic cruelty, the world asks us, what do you want for Christmas? What do we want for Christmas? And if we were honest, truly honest, the question becomes impossible to answer, right? Because what we want can't be wrapped. What we want can't be ordered online or found in the mall or tucked under a tree. We want people who are gone. And we don't just want them back, we want them healthy before the Alzheimer's, before the stroke, before the cancer, before age stole who they were. We want versions of ourselves we've lost, the ones who still believed things would work out, who hadn't been betrayed yet, who could still feel hope without effort. We want families that don't fight. We want bodies that don't hurt. We want faith we can't reclaim. We want innocence we've outgrown. We want time to run backwards. We want second chances. We want do-overs. We want the world to be kinder than it is. Here's where Advent has something to teach us. Advent means arrival. Adventus, the coming of something significant. Traditionally, it's waiting for Jesus, waiting for the light in the darkness, waiting for what's promised. Advent says, hold on, it's coming. But here's what we know in our bones. We're often longing for things that don't arrive. Advent teaches us to wait for what's coming, but some of us are waiting for things that are already gone. We're not waiting for someone to come back from the dead. We're not expecting our childhood to return. We're not anticipating that our families will magically heal or that time will reverse itself. We're longing backwards, not forward. And here's what traditional Advent theology doesn't always make room for: the sacred ache of waiting for arrivals that will never come. The holiness of longing that points behind us rather than ahead of us. The spiritual practice of honoring what's lost without pretending that we can reclaim it. But Advent, if we let it, if we expand it beyond its traditional boundaries, makes space for that too. Because waiting is waiting. Whether we're waiting for something to arrive or waiting for ourselves to accept that it won't. Both require patience. Both require hope of a different kind. Both ask us to live in the tension of what is and what we wish could be. This is actually more theologically honest than the promise of fulfilled wishes, I think. Because longing isn't a failure. Longing is information. Longing is your heart telling you what matters most. And Advent gives us permission to feel it fully, to name it clearly, and to wait with it rather than rushing past it towards manufactured joy. I think we all know what longing feels like. It's the tightness in your throat when a song comes on, when All I Want for Christmas Is You plays and suddenly you're 16 again, crying in your bedroom, wanting your grandfather back. It's the ache in your chest when you see families gathered, when you walk past a restaurant full of people laughing and you think, we used to be like that. We used to fill rooms. We used to be whole. It's the loneliness of carrying an ache no one else can see, of missing someone who's been gone for years but you still need, of grieving a version of your life that never quite materialized. Consumer culture knows this, of course. Everything about Christmas marketing is designed to convert this longing to acquisition. Buy this and you'll feel connected. Buy this and you'll feel joy. Buy this and the ache will stop. But real longing resists commodification because you can't Amazon Prime somebody back from the dead. You can't purchase your way back from childhood. You can't buy the version of yourself you miss or the family dynamics that you wish you had. The real longings, the ones that matter, can't be solved with a credit card. So, what do we do with them? What do we do with these impossible wants, these backward yearnings, these aches that won't resolve? Here's the spiritual practice I'm proposing. What if we honored our longings without demanding they be fulfilled? What if we just let the ache be what it is? Proof that we love something deeply. Proof that it mattered. Proof that we're still alive and capable of caring. Longing keeps us connected to what we've loved. Grief, someone said, is love with nowhere to go. Nostalgia is love refusing to forget. When we long for someone who's gone, we're still loving them. When we ache for a version of ourselves we've lost, We're still honoring who we were. The longing itself is connection. So here we are in early December. Advent is unfolding around us. This season, you might be longing for someone who's gone. You might be aching for a version of your family that doesn't exist or never did. You might miss a faith that you've lost, a self you've outgrown, a time when things felt simpler or safer or more whole. You might be crying alone in your room like a teenager who doesn't know how to name what's breaking inside. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to be over it. You don't have to manufacture merriness you don't feel. Advent gives you permission to wait, to want, and to ache. It gives you permission to live in the tension between what is and what you wish could be. It gives you permission to long for arrivals that will never come while still showing up for the life you actually have. So you have permission to feel the tightness in your throat, the ache in your chest, the exhaustion in your bones, and call it holy. And here's the unexpected gift in all of this. When we're honest about our longings, we find each other. Because everyone in this room is longing for something, right? Everyone here has a version of Christmas 1995. A moment when everything shifted, when someone didn't come back, when the family got smaller, or tradition broke, or the illusion shattered. Everyone here knows what it's like to cry alone. Everyone here knows what it's like to pretend they're fine. Your longing is not unique, but it is deeply personal. And naming it gives others permission to name theirs. The hope I offer you today is not that your longings will be fulfilled or that Christmas will deliver what you most want, but that you don't have to carry your ache alone. Longing can be communal. We can wait together. We can want together. We can hold space for one another. That when you're crying in your room, you're not the only one. That when you're exhausted from holding it together, someone else here understands that. That when the song comes on and your throat tightens, you can look around the room and say, they feel it too. So here's what I want to invite you to this season. Let yourself long. Think about it and name your longings, even the impossible ones, especially the impossible ones. And then attend to somebody else's longing. You can't give them what they've lost, but you can give them presence. You can be the arrival they're not expecting. You can be proof that they're not alone. Longing is the most honest prayer we know. I think about myself at Christmas 1995, a teenager, numb and confused, hearing the quiet house that used to be loud, crying alone in my bedroom, wanting my grandfather back, wanting my family whole, wanting the room to be full again, wanting my mother to not have to be so exhausted, wanting Christmas to be what it was before, wanting time to reverse, wanting one more chance, wanting the impossible. That longing didn't get fulfilled. 30 years later, my grandfather's still gone. The version of our family is still lost. Christmas never became what it was before. The room never filled up again in the same way. Some longings don't get fulfilled. they just stay. But that longing wasn't wasted. It taught me what love looks like. It taught me what matters. It taught me that the ache itself is proof that something mattered, proof that someone was worth missing, and proof that I'm still capable of loving so deeply that it breaks me open. And that breaking is not weakness. That breaking is my heart working exactly as it should. And that breaking made me capable of standing here offering you this truth. Your longing is holy. Your ache is sacred. Your backward yearning for what can't return is evidence of your humanity, your capacity for love, your refusal to pretend that loss doesn't matter. Your tears, even the ones you cry alone in your room, are prayers. Your exhaustion from holding it together is honest. Your tight throat when the song plays is your heart telling you what mattered. What still matters. Let us pray. Spirit of love, in this Advent, may we long honestly. May we ache openly. May we wait together for arrivals that will never come while remaining present to this life and the people right in front of us right now. And may we remember, all we want for Christmas might not fit under a tree, but it fits in this room, in our shared longing, in our willingness to sit with what hurts and call it holy anyway, in our willingness to cry together instead of alone, in our willingness to say, me too, I feel it too. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. Amen.
Before we sing our next hymn, I'd like to thank Keola for your message today. And at this moment, I'm longing to meet your mother. Would you please introduce your mother to us? Okay, we'll get to meet her one day. Well, in the universe, thank you, Mom, for who you are, and thank you for bringing Keola along, crybaby and all. We'll take him. Thank you. So if you're willing and able, please stand and sing our next hymn, Silent Night.
Rise
As Keola extinguished the chalice lighting, I'll recite these words. We extinguish this flame, but we carry its light with us, and we carry each other's longing too. May we go gentle into this season, knowing we don't have to carry our aches alone, knowing someone here understands, knowing our longing is holy. Go in peace.
In closing, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I won't be with you before Christmas, so I hope you have a really good one. Thank you for aching with me, for longing with me, for crying with me today. There are other Christmas celebrations at this church. They also celebrate joy. Don't worry. If you are available on Saturday, December 20th, I'm going to be giving a Christmas sermon at the UU Church of Auckland. And because of the way the days are, you can watch that service online. Finally, as you leave this place, may you carry with you the permission to long for what won't return, to ache without apology, to wait without demanding arrival. May you know you're not alone in your longing. Someone else here feels it too. And may you be kind to yourself this season. May you find moments of unexpected tenderness. May you remember that your ache is proof that you're still alive, still hoping, and still capable of love. Go gently. Amen.
Before singing our song of peace, I have one announcement to make. Today is the 7th, and it's the due date for the responses to Reverend Sam's reflection, nomination survey for Hope for Us. You can find the link to the survey in this week's newsletter under the Hope for Us article. Mahalo for your support. And Reverend Sam says that although today is the deadline, the form will stay open till December for people to share their thoughts. And now please ask before you take the hands of those next to you in singing our song of peace, Hawaii Aloha.